Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? We're about to do the recap and breakdown of UFC Fight Night Michel Pereira versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, which took place on October the 19th, 2024. We're going to break down the prelims, and then we're going to break down the main card. Let's just get right into it. I'm a little bit behind. I was supposed to do this on Sunday. We're doing it on Monday. I had a little bit of technical issue. This will be the last technical issue I have. I have fixed everything. We're good to go. We're back on schedule. First fight of the night on the prelims. Austin Lane versus Rebels to Spain. Rebels to Spain is one of the worst fucking UFC fighters I have ever seen in my entire life. This man needs to get out of the UFC just as much as Austin Lane needs to get out of the UFC. Rebels to Spain was sat on for 2 rounds. I believe Austin Lane won 29-28 as Rebels to Spain beat the shit out of him a little bit inside the second round. Rebels to Spain's terrible. Has no takedown defense except for grabbing the cage. Has no ground game whatsoever. Has no guard. Doesn't even close his guard usually. Just flops like a dead fish. Austin Lane looks terrible. Was open to a sweep. Was open for Rebels to Spain to get to a hip and be able to start getting up. And Austin Lane just sat on him and then moved him out and was hitting the shit out of him in the third round. Whatever, it is what it is. I had Rebels to Spain by knockout. Austin Lane gets it done by lay and pray. Great, fantastic. Next, we had on the prelims, we have Melissa Martinez versus Alice Ardelaine. I had Melissa Martinez, and she wins 30-27 on all the judges' scorecards. A lot of people watching this fight thought Alice won the first 2 rounds. You guys are stoned. Melissa Martinez landed more damage. Just because Alice is landing pitter-pat shots does not mean she's winning the round. When Melissa Martinez is tagging her and she's visibly getting hurt, and she starts backing up, and Alice's 11 shots do nothing to Martinez, I would agree with the judges in that is Martinez's round. I think Alice could have arguably took over round 2, or round 1, excuse me, but Melissa Martinez, I think, won round 2 and 3. Going into that third round, Melissa Martinez was a 5-1 underdog. I put a little bit of cash on it because that was insane. She would have won anyway, no matter what, even if Alice needed a finish. So, very impressive from Melissa Martinez. Showed that she's a very, very good counter striker. Looking with that left hand quite often. Alice kept stepping in and getting clipped. Really good combos from Melissa Martinez. She was starting to blitz out a little bit. It was really impressive, dude. She used her range well. Let Alice come towards her and just used her jab and used her hooks and just outboxed her. It was really impressive. There wasn't any ground game, really. And Melissa Martinez gets it done. I'm actually kind of interested to see who they're going to give her next, seeing as she lost to Elise Reed, which is kind of sad. But I think she can. I think if she works a little bit on the ground game, I think she's going to be able to be like at least top 25 inside 115. 115 is kind of dead right now. Next on the podium, we have Elise Reed versus Jessica Penne. Penny's 41 years of age, man. We all knew how this was going to go. Penny looked like she gassed out in the first round, and Elise Reed just started putting it on. Was going for that wrestling, and then just gave up on it and started just winging strikes and was hitting the shit out of Penny. Elise Reed confidently won the fight. Really just walked down Jessica Penne in the later stages of the fight. Penne, I thought, would use her range a little bit more. Dude, she's 42 years of age. She doesn't have it left, man. She doesn't have it. When you're past 38, past 39, your cardio, you can visibly see it. Jessica Penne's been falling off for a couple years. She's done, man. Elise Reed's not even that good, and she was able to take her out. Elise Reed's 31 years of age, and she looks like she's been fighting for 3 years. When you watch her fight, she looks not great. Lookman me fucking choked her out, and that was terrible to watch. That second round was awful. Anyway, Elise Reed, it was a great win. It wasn't super impressive. It was just one of those fights where you're like, okay, like this is just like, why the fuck is this even on the card? Like they should have never put Jessica Penne back in the cage, but whatever, man. Give Elise Reed a win. Puff up her record a little bit. Next on the prelims, we have Jocelyn Edwards versus Tamiris Vidal. Jocelyn Edwards, very clearly had a weight advantage, very clearly had a frame advantage, and bullied the shit out of Vidal. Just bullied her. She bullied her for 3 rounds and then choked her out with 30 seconds left. Vidal did nothing. Vidal literally looked like shit. She looked terrible. Edwards was piecing her up inside the first round. Vidal landed a couple nice jabs, I think like one nice hook on Edwards. But Vidal just got pieced up. Like, the fact that this girl's 26 years of age, she's 7-4 now, she's going to get kicked out of the UFC for this. 3 losses in a row, 2 by finish. I didn't even think Edwards was going to be able to pull out a fucking finish, even though Vidal looked like she was fading. She got hurt really bad to the body. Edwards was piecing her up really, really nicely. It was very clear, though, that Edwards missed weight on purpose. It seemed like she just looked like she like weight bullied the hell out of her, dude. It was kind of embarrassing a little bit. I mean, she gets the win. It is what it is, but holy shit. Like, I can't believe what I watched. Kind of sad, but Vidal's out of the UFC. Jocelyn Edwards moves up, I guess, but I don't know who should give me. I don't even know if this lady's gonna be able to beat at 135, man. Seeing as she can't even make weight. Aline Perez can't even make weight. All of these ladies, man. She missed weight 2 times already. Whatever. Now I gotta turn off my phone too. All right, next on the prelims we have Jean Matsumoto versus Brad Katona. Brad Katona. Okay, I thought it was 1-1 going into that third round. Brad Katona just started getting pieced up. Brad Katona was a live underdog in this. Very, very impressive, bro. I really like him, but usually fighters who have second stints inside the UFC, historically, they just don't do well. It's just how it is. Brad Katona's already lost 2 out of his last 3. One to Garrett Armfield, I believe. Yeah, and he looks good still, though, which is interesting because I think Brad Katona is going to definitely be one of those guys that sits inside the UFC for the next 6 years. He's going to get paid. He's going to get a big paycheck every single fucking time he fights. He's going to fight multiple times a year. And he's going to be one of those guys that the newer guys have to get through. He's going to be a gatekeeper, for sure. Jean Matsumoto, very impressive being able to adapt on the fly. Brad Katona, impeccable being able to adapt on the fly. He adapted inside that second round and was able to fucking nuke John with some nice shots. These guys were dude, this was one of the biggest wars of the entire year. I think this is one of my favorite fights literally of the entire year, maybe in the last 3. It was fantastic. I thought it couldn't have got any better. These guys were going for the finish at every second of the fight. John looking for that guillotine. Brad not giving it to him. Looking for the chain wrestling. He's up against the cage. John's going for a guillotine. He switches back to the lower calf to avoid the guillotine. And then John switches back to the underhook. Brad switches back to the single leg. John switches back to the guillotine. Brad switches back to the calf hold. It's super impressive. Like the scrambles and stuff. Like these guys were really, really trying. And Brad Katona, very impressive, but Jean Matsumoto gets it done as a minus 220 favorite. I mean, obviously, you'd think he'd get it done, especially seeing as he's undefeated. But very, very close fight. I can see Brad Katona getting far, but I can see Jean Matsumoto getting really, really far. Especially, dude, 135, man. If Jean can adapt his game even more and build, this guy's going to be absolutely unreal. Because Brad Katona is a big test, bro, and he passed it with fucking flying colors. Especially that third round. That was very nice. Next, on the top of the prelims, we have Azu Almabayev versus Mateus Nicolau. Nicolau won the second round. I'm just saying, it was close. Azu Almabayev outstruck him a little bit inside that first round. If Mateus Nicolau put a little bit of the gas on inside that first round instead of just waiting for Azu to shoot, which he never did inside those first 2 rounds, it would have helped him a lot. It would have won him the fight. Round 2 was clear Nicolau. Round 3 was clear Almabayev. Dropped him, I believe. I missed a portion of the fight because my stream cut out. I believe he was dropped. He got taken down and held for the rest of the round. Nicolau only got up with 3 seconds left to go in the round. Clearly lost the round. Round 1 was Almabayev. He just landed more strikes, and Nicolau was live, man. I really had him. I had him as one of my best bets this week, and unfortunately he lost. I hit the plus 3.5 on him, which was almost even money. But Azu Almabayev gets another victory that I just feel like he doesn't deserve, man. He's gonna get fraud checked, I'm telling you. Mateus Nicolau could have done it this time if he just put a little bit more pressure on that first round. He would have won. He would have won. He would have won on points. The third round he almost got finished, but obviously he survived. He clearly won the second round. I really wish he just put a little bit more gas on in that first round. It's still a very fun fight to watch. It's just I hate watching Almabayev lay and pray. He didn't really do anything except for laying a couple shots on the ground. It was really just shit. I hate watching these wrestlers, to be honest, but it is part of the MMA game. It is what it is. All right, we had a little bit of a mic drop there, but we're going to start the main card now. We have Darren Elkins versus Daniel Pineda starting it off, and we had Darren the Damage Elkins as my lock of the week before I changed it, and he gets it done, man. He retires Daniel Pineda, who got beat the fuck up, man. He hasn't had a reasonable victory in the last 6 years at least. Tucker Lutz submission, beating Herbert Burns. I don't give a shit about either of those. Tucker Lutz sucks. Herbert Burns sucks. Darren the Damage Elkins, man, he gets it done in the later stages of the fight. Lost round 1 clear, but pieces up Daniel Pineda and makes sure that he has a reason for the nickname. Has a cut all over Daniel Pineda's face. Has his eyes swollen, can barely see out of the right eye. Daniel Pineda leaves his gloves inside the octagon. Darren the Damage Elkins gets it done. shows that he still has some CTE problems. Can barely talk during the interview, sounds a little incoherent, but I love him. He's one of my favorite fighters still. And again, I don't know if it deserved fight of the night. I think John Matsumoto and Brad Katona deserved it, but again, still a hell of a fight. Daniel Pineda got held down in that third round. Even gave himself a look of disappointment. He was sighing. He was like, "Fuck!" He was literally out loud saying "fuck" because he knew he lost. We're going to move on. Next on the main card, we have Cameron Smotherman versus Jake Hadley. And Cameron Smotherman comes out as one of the biggest underdogs on the card, 5-1 plus 380, and gets it done as his UFC debut after losing to Gregorio inside Contender Series by round 1 KO. Jake Hadley is still a bum. We saw the Kalen Loughran fight, and we thought he was a little bit better at bantamweight. No, he's still shit. Still has no range capabilities. Still backs up and doesn't throw any meaningful strikes. Doesn't try to go for a finish. Doesn't try to go for takedowns, which he should have gone for, even because he was supposed to fight Brady Haystead, who is a fucking wrestler, who he's supposed to wrestle. I don't understand. I don't get it. Cameron Smotherman gets it done, man, on the points. I think it was 30-27. I mean, I feel like it was 30-27. It should have been 30-26. Seeing as Jake Hadley was poking the shit out of him, hitting him in the nuts and stuff. He had a really bad eye poke at one point, I think in the third round. Or second round, excuse me. Dude, Cameron Smotherman, very impressive, bro. It just looked like he had a lot of heart. He had all of his family there cheering for him. I think that helps a little bit. Very, very impressive from this young lad. 27 years of age, man. I'm really excited to see what he has in the UFC, especially at 135, bro. This guy's huge. He's 5'9". He's a very lanky frame. I think he's going to be a really good addition to the UFC. We're going to go next on the main card, Charles Johnson versus Sumadarji. Sumadarji, people feel like they got robbed. Nah, bro. I think it was 29-28. Sumadarji landing good strikes, though, inside the first round. Charles Johnson just kind of put it on him. The knockdown inside the second round and the almost finish. And the third round, I feel like Charles Johnson just put it on Sumadarji a little bit. I think Charles Johnson lost the first round, was a little overconfident going into this fight, seeing as Sumadarji's lost 2 of his fights by finish recently. One to Matt Schnell, one to Tim Elliott, I believe. But he was getting choked out on the ground. Charles Johnson doesn't have that type of capabilities. He's more a stand-up striker, and he's never going to take Sumadarji down, seeing as Sumadarji's a lot better at takedown defense than Charles Johnson is a wrestler. So Charles Johnson wanted to fight one more time this year. Not fucking happening. We went to war in this one. Sumadarji, very close fight. Could have been 29-28 either way. I feel like Charles Johnson won. I think the right person won. Very impressive from Charles Johnson being able to adapt in the later stages of the fight, being able to deal with Sumadarji's power. Sumadarji's still dangerous, bro. This guy's fucking nasty. He's from Szechuan, China. Not very many people are from down there. He trains out of Enbo Fight Club. A lot of nasty strikers in here, bro. Rongju's in here. Where is it? Is it Nignan? Yuza's fight there too, but is it Mahashante? There you go. Mahashante fights there too, bro. Like big power strikers, bro. Big power strikers. I really would like to see Charles Johnson maybe stop going for all the flashy stuff early in fights, especially when he's all hyped up. He looked really impressive, dude. It's just he gave away the first round because Sumadarji was able to outland him, doing a little bit more in the stand-up when it comes to like he was taking counters really well. Like Charles Johnson was trying to blitz and Sumadarji wasn't having it. He was using his jab really well, using that I believe his left power. I think his left is his power shot. I can't remember right now. I'm really tired, but again, impressive victory for Charles Johnson. And we're going to move on to the co-main event of the evening. Rob Font versus Kyler Phillips. And wait, what? Oh, right, sorry. I thought it said Phillips. Yeah, Rob Font versus Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips showed that he is shit. He shows that he doesn't actually have what it takes. Like, he's been beating bums. Barcelos, Munoz, Rojo, like, his best is Song Yadong, okay? That's his best win. Rob Font with Albazi, and he went on down to Quebec, Canada. He fought at TriStar. He was training there. He went with Amir Amir Albazi. Let me just check who's his. No, it's not Amir Albazi. Who am I fighting? TriStar Gym. Sorry, we're just taking a... Guys, calm down. We're taking a second here, okay? I can hear you yapping already. Like, oh, you don't fucking... Shut. Faraz Zahabi, okay? My bad, fuck, okay? Faraz Zahabi down in Quebec. Québécois, across the water, là. Rob Font goes and trains, has him in his corner, tells him literally exactly what he needs to do. Kyler Phillips blows his fucking load in the first round, and Rob Font just takes over the second round where Kyler Phillips looks like he can barely stand, and the third round where Kyler Phillips looks like he's not even conscious on his feet. Rob Font, as again, one of the biggest underdogs on the card, 4.5 to 1 underdog, gets it done. Very impressive. I'm very happy for Rob Font. 37 years of age. He finally gets a win, gets out of the loss column, and he can start looking towards that last run at the 135 title that he wants. We're going to go to the main event of the evening. If you guys enjoy this, make sure to drop a like, and if you haven't already, subscribed. We have Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. My best bet of the week was Michel Pereira. He came into a 25-minute fight with 1 minute of cardio, and he loses via round 5 ground and pound TKO. I thought this was going to be a round 1 fight. I thought if Fluffy was going to win under 1.5 rounds with a lockup. Fluffy took it to deep waters, beat the shit, just sat on top of Pereira, gassed him out. He was already gassed within the first 30 seconds, and just beat the shit out of him, bro. Got the stoppage, got a big cut on Michel Pereira's eyebrow. And Hernandez gets it done, man. Moves up in 185. He looks like he's on very close to a title shot. Seeing as he just choked out Kopylov, he beat the shit out of Pereira, beat the shit out of Shabazian, Marc-Andre Barrial. He's finishing all of these decent contenders leading up to the 185 top 10. Excuse me, top 15. And bro, if Pereira can't take him out, who's in a very explosive fighter, I don't think anyone's going to be able to deal with the power of Hernandez at this point. He's a very dominant wrestler, very, 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 very good ground control, very slick in how he defends sweeps and everything. He's very, very good. Only guy to knock him out is, I believe, Kevin Holland via knee, round 1. Just caught him. Really nice shot, and he has a decision loss to, Anaconda loss to Perez. I don't even know who, I'm not going to lie, I'm sorry. I don't know who this guy is. I've never even heard of him, Marcus Perez. But Fluffy has grown since then. Very impressive. Used his range really well. Avoided the danger of Michel Pereira and gets it done in under 5 rounds. That's all I got for you guys this week. I'm sorry I was late again, but we're not going to let it happen anymore. We have fixed the problems. We're going to get it done. Hopefully you guys all have a good week. I will come at you tomorrow on Tuesday with the predictions and breakdowns of UFC 308, Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria. I will see you guys all later. Peace.